little story about this one. My goal when I come up with the device was just to beat out the agitating thing with the drill and rod and with the paddle on the bottom. 5 minutes. That's all I wanted to do. Then several people asked me, well, how much do you shortcut the aging of the wine? And I couldn't really give an answer because I didn't know how much gas was in a wine that was, say, 8 months old or a year old. Or
no one really does.
Some. But I did know that I could go to the store and buy a commercial wine with a vintage that says, hey, it's about a year old or so, and I could get additional gas on it. So when I went to write my patent on the thing, the patent lawyer asked me, well, how does this do it? And I thought, well, okay, it's time to see how far I can go to do it. So it takes about 5 times as long to do a complete degassing of it as it does just the first. So I had 6 of them, and I went 4 hours with 6 of them, 6 5-gallon carboys, and this is the result. So.
Okay.
I just think that's so
even
pretty.
Deeper color.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Looks like an extraction longer time on the skins, which we know didn't.
Never had any skins. This was made from a concentrate.
More concentrated nose.
Yeah.
Even more tobacco, chocolate. Rich dark fruit in there. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that a huge difference from what you thought was decent?
Amazing.
With the undegassed
Even
wine.
firmer structure. It's wonderful.
Well, I'm very proud of it, and of course,
you should be.
We think we've got something revolutionary here. We really do. You know, without being self-serving, we think that eventually, this is what all the winemakers, amateurs especially, amateur winemakers.
Like I say, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Wonderful wine, and I've tasted a lot of homemade wine from so-called amateur winemakers, and this far exceeded all my expectations.
Really?
Yes. Very nice.
That makes me feel good. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a few more questions for you about your device. I know you mentioned you have different sizes available for different numbers of carboys for the level of amateur you are, if you produce small or large amounts of wine. And it seemed like a relatively small investment, $130?
Yeah, for the big one.
For the big one?
And as cheap as $79.95 for the small one.
Okay. It's still $79.99. It's still an investment.
Yes.
So what kind of guarantee are these people getting on their money then?
Okay, well, first of all, on the parts and labor, there's a 2-year guarantee.
Okay.
I'll replace any part or make any device correct for the purchaser.
Fair enough.
The thing is put together with all compression fittings and there's no working parts and there's no adhesives connected with it. It's all pushed together, and so we're fairly sure that this device should last people forever and ever. I mean, there's certainly a very, very long time. In addition to that, we're pretty sure that once somebody uses this thing, they're not going to be ready to give it back. So it's real easy for me to say, hey, I'll give a 90-day, no questions asked return of your money and your shipping costs.
Wow.
All you have to do is buy it and try it, And if you want to send it back, you go right ahead, but I don't think you will once you've used it.
That sounds great. I mean, what better way to stand behind your product?
Yeah. It's fun to use. That, using the old drill and stir method is work intensive. I mean, you got to literally sit there and hold that thing for 5 minutes. This thing here, you just plug it into your compressor, and away it goes, and it does its work. Occasionally, like when I want to make sure that I've got all the gases out of it, sometimes I'll shake each one of the bottles a little bit, and just to make sure. It's a pretty consistent thing, and you've got a real good feel for how much gas you've taken out of the wine.
How long have you been using this?
I've been working on it for 2 years now, a little over 2 years. And I've got people who have the stir and drill device down in their basements and will pick up their wines and bring it over to my house and use my degassing thing rather than do theirs, because the results really speak for themselves.
They do. I'll attest to that.
Thank you. This is the Model 807, and it will do up to 4 carboys of wine at one time. And we found through experimentation that this vacuum generator, when you use it with a 1/2 horsepower motor, when you use it with a 1/2 horsepower motor, you can easily degas 1 jug of wine.
Okay, so this hooks up to the compressor?
Yep.
And this goes in the top of the carboy?
Right.
Okay.
Then as the compressor power goes up, let's say you've got a 1 horsepower motor. So, well, let Mitch take a picture of that little guy right there. That's how they come apart. You push this ring in and just pull this out. We'll connect it to a manifold that can do up to 4, and just plug 2 of these guys in. There we go.
And you use the same compressor?
This would be for a 1 horse or larger compressor.
Okay.
Right. So compressor. So a 1 horsepower motor or more easily does 2.
So you've used those just to seal off?
Yeah, we're just to seal off the system. We recommend a 1.5 horsepower to do 3. And we know that a 2 horsepower motor will easily do 4 5-gallon carboys of wine, and it does all the work. And this is my small unit. I think once you've tasted the difference in those wines, you're going to say it won't take long for it to pay for itself.
Sure.
Really.
Absolutely.
So that's
So Rhone, you've shared with me some wonderful wine, some outstanding information on a product that I didn't know can be improved upon, actually. Where can we find out more about your product?
The easiest way is to go to winegasgetter.com.
Winegasgetter.com.
That's our internet site, and that'll have a lot of general information about degassing wine. It'll have just a lot of good information for people who may be interested in degassing wine and not interested in my device. Who knows? But whatever. That's probably the easiest way to get that is winegasgetter.com.
And they can purchase through there.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah. There's an order blank on the site. There's information again. There's information about gas getting. There's information about our company, Silas Villa LLC. Just about who we are. And so yeah, that's probably the most direct way to get hold of us.
Wonderful.
And there's telephone numbers there. My telephone number right now is on there, and anybody wants to discuss it, give me a telephone call. Give me a shout. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed the afternoon.
Me too.
Salute.
And the wine wasn't too bad either.